Have you ever wondered how the shoes you're wearing right now came to be? Our journey starts thousands of years ago, when the first shoes were crafted not for style, but for survival. The earliest footwear, made from rawhide and bark, was a necessity, protecting our ancestors' feet from the harsh elements. As human societies developed, so did our shoes. The ancient Egyptians, for example, crafted sandals from papyrus and palm leaves. They were simple, yes, but they also signaled the wearer's social standing. The more intricate the design, the higher the status. Fast forward to the Middle Ages. Footwear took on a whole new meaning. It was no longer just about protection or convenience, it was about display. A person's shoes could tell you their social rank, their wealth, even their profession. Knights wore heavy, sturdy boots, while nobles sported pointed shoes, the length of which was regulated by law according to one's rank. But the real transformation came with the Industrial Revolution. As mass production became possible, shoes were no longer exclusive to the wealthy. This democratization of footwear opened the doors for shoes to become a fashion statement. Yet it wasn't until the 20th century that we see the birth of the footwear we know and love today. The invention of sneakers, for instance, was a game changer. Originally designed for athletes, they quickly became a symbol of casual style and comfort. From stilettos to loafers, wedges to flip-flops, each shoe style has a story, a history that reflects the time and culture it emerged from. And just like fashion, these styles evolve, influenced by societal changes and technological advances. Today, shoes are not just about function or status, they are an expression of individuality, a way to make a statement without uttering a single word. With countless designs, materials, and technologies at our disposal, the possibilities are endless. From humble beginnings to high fashion, footwear has certainly come a long way. Did you know that the Middle Ages were a turning point for shoe fashion? This era, spanning from the 5th to the 15th century, saw footwear evolve from being a mere necessity to becoming a crucial element of fashion and personal style. Let's take a walk back in time, shall we? The Middle Ages introduced a variety of styles, but one that truly stands out is the poulain. Originating in Poland, this shoe style was characterized by its long, pointed tip, which would sometimes extend several inches beyond the wearer's toes. The poulain was not just a style statement, but a mark of social status. The longer the point of your poulain, the higher your standing in society. It was a clear message from the feet up of your place in the social hierarchy. But the poulain was not the only shoemaking waves during this time. The pattens, wooden overshoes worn over regular footwear, were a practical response to the muddy and unclean streets of the Middle Ages. They elevated the wearer above the grime, and over time became a fashionable accessory, decorated with intricate carvings and even, on occasion, gilded. Footwear in the Middle Ages was also influenced by the church, which often dictated what was acceptable. For instance, the church disapproved of the extravagantly long tips of the poulain, considering them to be a sign of vanity. This led to laws being passed to restrict the length of the shoe's point based on the wearer's social status, intertwining fashion and law in a unique way. The Middle Ages also saw the rise of guilds, groups of skilled craftsmen who would specialize in making certain goods, including shoes. This led to the birth of the cobbler profession, further emphasizing the importance of shoes during this period. So, from the social status defining poulains to the practical yet stylish patterns, and the rise of professional cobblers, it's clear that the Middle Ages was a pivotal time in the history of shoe fashion. It was during this period that shoes began to be seen not just as practical necessities, but as symbols of status, wealth, and personal style. The Middle Ages truly set the stage for the future of footwear fashion. The Renaissance brought with it a revolution in shoe fashion, the heel. This era, known for its rebirth of art, culture, and fashion, saw the emergence of heels as a distinctive element in footwear design. But did you know that the heel didn't start off as a fashion statement? Initially, heels served a very practical purpose. They were integrated into the boots of horse riders, helping them secure their stance in the stirrups. This practical design soon caught the eye of the fashion-forward nobility, transforming the heel from a horseback riding necessity to an indicator of social status. The higher the heel, the higher the social rank one was perceived to have. This was especially true in the court of France, where an influential woman sparked a high heel frenzy. Enter Catherine de' Medici, a name synonymous with high heel fashion. As the wife of King Henry II of France, Catherine was a trendsetter in the royal court. She was of petite stature, and to give herself a boost in height, she started wearing 2-inch heels. Catherine's high-heeled shoes caused quite a stir, and soon, everyone in the royal court was clamoring for a pair. Even men. Yes, you heard it right. Men wore heels too, and it was considered very fashionable. The trend spread across Europe, with both men and women donning heels to accentuate their outfits and display their social standing. Over time, the practical aspect of the heel was overshadowed by its aesthetic appeal. By the end of the Renaissance, heels had become an integral part of shoe fashion. They were no longer just a tool for horseback riding, but a symbol of elegance, power, and sophistication. The Renaissance gave us the gift of heels, a staple in today's shoe fashion. The 20th century saw the rise of a new shoe trend, sneakers. A phenomenon that swept the globe, sneakers began their journey as a humble athletic shoe, only to evolve into a fashion statement that transcended boundaries of age, race, and culture. The birth of the sneaker is rooted in sports. Rubber-soled shoes, known as plimsolls, were initially designed for athletes in the late 19th century. However, it wasn't until the 20th century that these shoes evolved into what we now call sneakers. The name sneakers was coined due to the rubber soles that allowed people to sneak around silently. With the rise of organized sports, sneakers became increasingly popular. In the early 20th century, companies started mass-producing shoes specifically for different sports. The advent of basketball particularly fueled the growth of the sneaker industry. Brands like Converse and Adidas emerged, creating shoes designed for better performance on the court. But it wasn't just the sports world that embraced sneakers. The mid-20th century saw these shoes stepping off the court and into mainstream fashion. As casual wear became more acceptable, so did sporting sneakers for everyday activities. The 80s and 90s marked a significant era in sneaker culture, as hip-hop artists and rappers started incorporating them into their iconic looks. Artists like Run DMC made Adidas superstars an essential part of streetwear, while Michael Jordan's collaboration with Nike took the sneaker game to unparalleled heights. Sneakers became more than just shoes. They were symbols of style, identity, and social status. Limited editions and collaborations between brands and artists further fueled the desire for these fashionable footwears. The influence of basketball and hip-hop culture on sneaker fashion cannot be overstated. They transformed sneakers from functional sports gear into a form of self-expression and a coveted fashion item. The 20th century gave birth to the sneaker culture we know and love today. From their athletic roots to their iconic status in fashion, sneakers have truly made their mark. They're a testament to the fact that fashion evolves with society, reflecting the changes in our lifestyle, culture, and preferences. So, where is footwear fashion headed next, you may wonder? As we peer into the crystal ball of the future, we can see a few trends emerging. One of the most significant is the shift towards sustainable materials. With growing environmental consciousness, the shoe industry is increasingly looking to reduce its carbon footprint. This means we're likely to see more footwear made from recycled materials, alternative leathers, and even plant-based textiles. Imagine slipping your feet into a pair of shoes made entirely from pineapple fibers or recycled plastic bottles. That's not just eco-friendly, that's fashion-forward. The future of footwear also looks smart, and by smart, we mean technologically advanced. We're already seeing the beginnings of this trend with fitness-tracking shoes and self-lacing sneakers. But the possibilities are endless. Imagine shoes that adjust their fit based on your foot's pressure points, or footwear that changes color at the touch of a smartphone app. These might sound like science fiction, but they're closer to reality than you might think. And of course, we can't talk about the future of footwear without acknowledging the continued evolution of sneaker culture. Sneakers have come a long way from their humble beginnings as athletic footwear. Today, they're a fashion statement, a collector's item, and a canvas for artistic expression. As we move forward, we're likely to see even more innovation in sneaker design, from collaborations with artists and designers to limited edition releases and high-tech features. The influence of technology and environmental consciousness on the future of shoe trends is undeniable. But it's also important to remember that fashion is cyclical. What's old often becomes new again. So don't be surprised if we see a resurgence of footwear styles from the past, reimagined with a futuristic twist. Only time will tell where the journey of footwear fashion will take us next. But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride.